never despise small beginnings. That's a little biblical scripture that I remember just when I was struggling, trying to get things going. I had been homeless. I'd been out on the street trying to get things going. If it is your dream and it is your hope, it is that thing that you wake up with and you go to bed with it and you can't shake it no matter what, that's something that's bigger than you. It gets hard, you will cry, especially if it's a big dream. If it's something that you think, oh, I can do that, that ain't a dream. If it's something that scares you, that makes you go, this feels like I can do it. I have this thing in me that says I can do it. For me, that was my God voice, my prayer. There's like something saying you can do this. That's what I held on to. That's what I held on to the whole time.
Thank you, Tyler Perry, for that gem right there. And the perfect segue into spooky season. That's right, Halloween is just about a week away. It's a time where we like to get scared for no reason. I don't know why. But what better way to get completely terrified than to talk about your dreams? Not those nightmare dreams, these dreams that you're chasing, these goals that you're after. Tyler Perry said, real dreams scare you, and it makes sense. Because if it's a dream that's easily obtainable, is that really a dream, or is this just a progression of life? Is your dream to meet standards at your next review and get that 1% pay increase? It's not a dream. Maybe for some people it is a dream. If it is, maybe you're on the wrong podcast, okay? We don't have that energy here at REL and Friends. And I guess that's a good time to reintroduce myself to any new podcast listeners. This is the REL and Friends podcast, and I'm REL. And this is the podcast where I check in on my creative homies to provide a little bit of inspiration for the viewer, that's you. And I also bring some pretty cool stories along the way, and we got some good ones today. Well, the first story is kind of sad, actually. See, an underground hero has passed away by the name of Kaws from Brownsville, Brooklyn. And I'm going to celebrate him a little bit and how he inspired me in many ways and the key tracks that stuck out to me as a fan of Kaws. And if we're talking about the scariest of dreams, when we're talking visuals, generative AI is in full swing. We've seen every company releasing their version of generative AI, and Adobe just released some new visuals on what they have coming out, and I actually dug around and found a full-on tutorial. So there's some interesting tools in there that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And if you want to talk about a spooky day, we have to talk about the 1995 Source Awards. That's right, Benzino just announced that he is finishing up a documentary about the 1995 Source Awards, which was such a huge turning point in hip-hop and ultimately resulted in the death of two of the greatest rappers of all time, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. Also, the drawing center in New York City has appointed Kaws to curate his own exhibit. It features over 350 drawings from his own personal collection and features his peers such as Futura 2000, Dondi, Serve, Days, and much more. They're saying it is like looking into the mind of Kaws and seeing what inspired him to become the artist that he is today. And I look forward to checking that one out. So we got some details there. But if you guys want to talk about seeing something spooky, like scary, you guys need to like and subscribe, because if you don't, it's about to get really scary. You don't want to see me when I'm really scary. Okay, head over to rel.friends on IG. Head over to YouTube, REL and Friends on YouTube. And then head over to every podcast platform and subscribe. And then leave a comment there. And then leave stars. I'm asking a lot this week. Okay, because I haven't asked a lot in a while. Okay, and I'm trying to be scary today. So if you're intimidated, get over there now. Welcome to REL and Friends. Welcome back. It's a REL Friends podcast. The coffee is being sipped. It is now being set down on my desk. And I'm now sitting normal. Welcome. Halloween is coming up, and I can't believe it because that holidays are right around the corner. It means that pretty soon it will be 2025. Okay. I'm starting off scary today. This is going to be a spooky episode. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be angry today. I'm just kidding. I can't stay angry at you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Halloween is a weird holiday because I feel like at a certain age, you just stop. You just stop participating in Halloween. Or is it just me? Am I just not fun anymore? Maybe. I don't care. It's okay. Because I have kids and I need to make sure they have fun on Halloween. Okay. I no longer get to have fun on holidays. I have to do all the planning and prepping. So that's what I'm doing. Costumes have not been picked out yet, but they will be picked out soon. Whatever they end up wearing, I will post on my IG, shameless plug, rel.mov. If you want to see some cute pictures of my kids, head on over there. All right. Also, just some like updates that I've seen on social media. I got to give a big shout out to my guy Shortcut. He posted, I think it was one of the first images since he had his stroke. Looks like he is recovering well. DJ Premier reposted a clip of him actually cutting. So, yeah, things are looking good. Shout out to Shortcut. Love to see that he's getting better. All right, let's do it. Let's get into some news. Now, one of my good friends, Roland, shout out to Ro. He broke this news to me, and I was devastated to hear that we have lost another underground legend, rapper Kaws from Brownsville. Kaws' art was next level.
When I write, it's not from a happy place. I don't write party shit. I write from pain.
We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our
His voice was monotone.
When you broke, crushing coke, don't take much coaxing. Cooking the roars, your foot in the door, trying to bust it open.
The vibes were always dark.
To succeed, you never seen such devotion. To succeed, you never seen such devotion.
Somewhat eerie, but at the same time, they were uplifting, empowering.
Aggressive tone for flesh and bone. That's why blood is spoken.
Kaws put himself into his art and displayed it for everyone to see.
Not a tremor. Learn not to fall from her. They never call you sir if you surrender. How they dealing? Killing us always been the true agenda. It's the public way. Another day. I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Ocean Hill, Brownsville. That's why I'm born and raised. Grew up during a roaring time. Like, you know, it was kind of rough. I was dealing with real issues, man issues as a kid. You know, like shit that I know if I had a seed, I wouldn't want my seed to experience shit like that.
Sutter and Stone, Rockaway and Dumont, the gritty arteries of Brownsville.
Now, by day, Kaws was a firefighter.
They stand the test, got father time rhymes. I know I'm blessed, father, pardon my crimes. Just wanted to stack and ride beamers, don't laugh on the Ave with a pack of eyes.
He was actually a first responder during the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center. He was a hero in more ways than one. But what I loved about Kaw is the way he just painted these pictures.
Cops and SWATs with night vision. Give me 3 days, we celebrate like Christ risen. Grew up with good spirited goons, now I only see him in tombs or in visiting rooms.
The sound was so simplistic. He was coming with a sound way before everyone else was doing the drumless thing. Very minimal, but just so much emotion in everything he put out.
Jump through squares made of crown another. I see your traps and your plots, dead as shot rolling with cold jacks, nigga. I got prophetic. I fuck with betters. I heat it up with cold facts. Kind of was escaping from shit, like, you know, shit was going crazy on the block, shit was going crazy in the crib. I would go within myself and I would write, you know what I'm saying? So it came from a place of escaping pain. And with that, you know, a lot of the bars I was talking about what was going on or, you know, going on around me. So it ended up just being mostly just real somber themes.
What I love about Kaw's story, he was rhyming for a good 20 years before he caught any kind of traction in the rap game. Really saw success in his 40s until we ultimately lost him in his 50s. In this clip, Kaw speaks about his fan base and how much he really appreciates their support for his art.
If it stops now, I had a moment in time where people was like, I appreciate what you do. Like, that shit made me feel good. Like, you know what I mean? People heard and hear, still listening, discovering the art that I created. There's no greater gift than that. I didn't do 25 years of writing in vain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like every other underground legend, Kaw's gonna be up there with the greats. The MF Dooms, the Sean P's, those who really touched the community with an avant-garde type of art that really touched on a different level of emotion. Artists that never compromised their style and what they wanted to do for clicks or sales, and kept it pure to themselves. Kaw will forever live on. People are discovering him even today, even more now with the announcement, I'm sure. So thank you, Kaw, for all of the great music, and you will live on.
I hope it's bar time when my time come. Cause all my time wasn't kind, son. Bar time when my time come. Cause all my time wasn't kind, son. Hope it's bar time.
Religion is to bring mankind together, not to disperse mankind. So when you find something that we call religion, is dividing and separating mankind, it's not religion. It's better not to have it. Oh.
Okay, we're gonna get into some AI talk. I think it's been a while, and by a while I mean last week. We talk about AI all the time. I don't know, did we have an AI story last week? I don't remember. But Adobe's at it again. We've got more updates on their generative AI called Firefly. And they actually released a few videos, but they also released this statement that says, "We know that creating with confidence is critical to you and your clients and collaborators. Just like our Firefly generative AI models, Adobe Firefly Video Model is designed to be commercially safe and is only trained on content we have permission to use." Now, Adobe has really been leaning in on the whole, we don't steal content creators' IP and stuff like that, because there's been a lot of outrage with the creative community against AI and AI models that are using people's work to train it. So Adobe's really leaning in on that and presenting this as a tool that content creators can use even in their client work. I saw a couple of influencer videos that Adobe released as well.
The Adobe Firefly video model, releasing soon. I've been using it for quite some time, working alongside Adobe on this early access, generating all types of videos. Here's my honest viewpoint of what gets me excited. From the 3 avenues of who I am. As a pro video editor, I lead an incredible team, and we're called Let's Cook Editing Services. We amplify business through transformative videos. With clients like these, we use the Firefly video model for a variety of reasons in many stages of each project. My position often calls for painting the vision, pre-visual, connecting stories to enhancing graphics that elevate, saving time, energy, and budget while being efficient. As a creator, getting the exact visual is the goal. From a thought to a final result in seconds. Using prompts in 2 ways, text to visual, or utilizing the image upload feature to move even quicker. Getting that specific shot at that specific time. The Firefly video model communicates exactly what I want to show.
Okay. That video annoyed me. Oh, man. You know, so that is the editing that I hate. That video right there. If you're listening to the audio, you can still tell the type of editing it had because of all those sound effects. It's like that retention editing, super jump cutty look, and I can't stand it. Sorry, I'm being a bitter old production man. So yeah, they were pitching that guy. I guess he does video editing for a living, and he said that he is going to be using this for client work. Very obvious that was a paid advertisement, because if you go to his channel or his IG page, it's all Adobe content and Frame.io content. So it's all sponsored content. So take that as a grain of salt. But there is another influencer here.
So Adobe has given me pre-release access to test their Firefly video model. And I thought it would be so cool to try this out to see if I could use the Firefly video model to generate a kind of a moving storyboard pitch for a commercial that I'd like to produce for a tennis ball company. And I essentially just described the scene that I want. I chose the motion controls that I wanted to use, and here is the final result.
Okay, the video shows a bunch of tennis balls falling down like rain. There's an airplane made out of tennis balls and a bunch of cute things. Check it out if you want to on the Adobe site. But I also found a video, an actual training video on the new Firefly model from someone from Adobe's video team. And he jumped into a few examples. I signed up for the beta. I have not been approved of beta yet because Adobe does not know who I am yet. Adobe, you need to tap in. This is REL and Friends. Me and my community need access to this beta right now. But until then, I'll just watch your videos. So this is really interesting. So Dave Webner from the Adobe video team showed an example of how you can use generative AI to do something like animate an actual photo that you take.
Works, but let's start to dig into some experiments that I've been trying out with some existing tools and workflows, and how I can kind of merge everything together to create cool new stuff. That includes taking photos of my kids' stuffed animals and trying to bring them to life. So here I took a picture of my daughter's little Lammy. I took the initial photo and composition and then changed the prompt to say I wanted to zoom out and have the flowers and grass, blowing and the clouds moving. So one image can do quite a lot of different variations, and you just have to play around with it and see what you get. And then my personal favorite is this one. This is Piccadilly the bunny walking through a rainbow crystal cave. So we got Piccadilly as a souvenir in London. She's made by Jellycat, the same people that made Little Lammy. And it's just so cool. My kids were just amazed to see their characters come to life. So this is a really fun thing to try. If you've got, stuffed animals or toys or objects or whatever, and you want to see them come to life, take a photo, compose them in the background in Photoshop, and try a prompt and generate video and see what happens.
Okay, that looks pretty cool to me. That looks like a way of using generative AI in a way that I would actually use it, whether it's a storyboard or if you need to do something where it feels like you're entering an alternate reality, that could really work. Now, he also demonstrated how this new generative AI tool could be helpful when making motion graphics and animations for text, which is something that I could definitely use.
One thing that actually worked surprisingly well has been creating title sequences using generate video. So for more consistent results, the best way to start is to actually create it yourself in Photoshop. And I took these from text to image and used these as kind of my starting letters, and then composited everything together in Photoshop, and then told what I wanted the shot to do. So combining multiple shots together, you can get kind of a nice, like here's my intro and then here's my outro, and focus on two different generate video parts and then combine them together to create a cool title sequence.
All right, it's getting better, guys. Generative AI is getting better. There's going to be, once this gets the green light on Adobe platforms, everyone's going to have access. And then we're going to really see a boom in generative AI video. Okay. And once I have access, I'm going to play with it and I'm going to talk about it. Let's talk about the 1995 Source Awards. Okay. I was a teenager, so mesmerized with everything that happened at that time. TMZ recently interviewed Benzino, and they were elaborating a little bit on the death of Tupac. There's been a lot of new information around that. And the conversation turned to the 95 Source Awards, where Benzino announced he's working on a documentary.
A lot of people look at the 95 Source Awards, when Suge Knight, set it off as the catalyst for the war.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing, come to Death Row.
When Suge said that, I was standing right there on the side of the stage. I was nervous because, he flew about 100 people that night.
Now, I remember watching this, man. I remember the 95 Source Awards was opened by a performance by Death Row. I was a huge West Coast hip-hop fan at the time. I was living on the West Coast. I felt a part of it, and Death Row just came in swinging from the gate.
Man, at the Madison Square Garden, man, I'm getting goosebumps because that set where they all walked out of the jail cells, and all of them, I was a huge Death Row fan.
Check it out, check it out.
I can feel it.
Yeah! Check it out.
What's up, y'all? Y'all ready to get up into this? We gonna kick it off like this, y'all. Keep the hands ringing. Oh, yeah. We keep the hands ringing.
Them Death Row coming out of there, then Rage coming out of there, man, that was so exciting then, bro. It was like, Jesus, what is this? And then you see Quick come out with the red rag, and he talking right to MC8.
I'd like to dedicate this song to my fiance, MC8. Now let's get down to business.
And MC8 sitting right here. Wow. He's sitting right behind us. So understand when he rapping right at us. And we like, yo, okay, all right.
7, 9, 10, 8, you can't win, cause all the way up.
Oh, MC8, okay. 8, the G ain't there, the G ain't in you. Oh, okay.
E-I-H-T. Now should I continue? Yeah, he left out the G, cause the G ain't in you. Remember that?
I love DJ Quick's perm in that.
Oh my God, man. I mean, legendary. And that wasn't the only beat. There were other situations that night. That's when Andre 3000 really said, hey, the South got something to say.
Folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Since that night, the South looked like they kind of, I wouldn't say take over hip-hop, but they kind of stamped themselves as being a major part of the country and major people that come from the South to do what they did.
Now we could really pull together a documentary just from all the interview clips that Vlad has done on the 95 Source Awards. He's talked to everybody about it. But we've heard everybody talk about little details. So I think an organized documentary where you sit down with everyone and tell the true story would be dope. But if you want to know about it now, the clips are out there.
We already know who it is. You know the winner is the notorious B.I.G. Ready to die.
So it baited up a whole shit that fucking went down that had just so many cycles of all Biggie followers and riders, all Pac riders, motherfuckers that didn't even know neither one of them, gangster ass motherfuckers.
Yo. Hey, yo, I want to give mad love to my daughter.
I was sitting in the back of that motherfucker just like this. Yeah,
That's
through the whole
crazy.
thing. I watched the
So you
whole
watching
thing.
That's
I watched
crazy.
the whole awards.
You said on your documentary
I had a Glock on me, but
shit. He got him mad as
We did it. Bullshit, nothing. All of them.
Almost finished with my documentary I've been working on for the last year. I got to interview a lot of people who were there that night. Documentary that's going to really show people how that night kind of changed hip hop. Unfortunately, we lost to two giants, and that changed hip hop forever. It still hasn't recovered.
I hope this documentary happens. I hope it happens. Benzino, please do not drop the ball on this. This would be a huge documentary, and if you need help, I'm here. I'm willing to work for free vintage copies of the Source magazine. All right, let's talk about the artist Kaws. I personally own a few Kaws prints. They have set me back quite a bit of money, but I'll pay for art that I like. I don't mind. Now, the Drawing Center in New York City recently opened an exhibition entitled The Way I See It that features over 350 artworks curated by Kaws. It's put together from his personal collection of over 3,000 works on paper by an estimated 500 artists. Now, I just want to kind of reflect on Kaws, and if anyone doesn't really know where he comes from, I'm sure you've seen his art, but here's a little background on the artist and how he came to start writing Kaws and that character, that little skull character that you see everywhere.
Under the Holland Tunnel, there's all these walls, and as a young kid learning graffiti, I could just go there and paint all day long, uninterrupted.
Do you recall the first piece that you did that introduced the skull with the crossed out eyes on?
Yeah, I think it was a Marvel billboard that I painted in Jersey City. After just looking at the image, just thinking of, you know, the skull as being like such a universal image, and you can be in different countries, and Kaws doesn't make sense anyway, but you know, might not read or connect with somebody, but a skull, it's a skull, it's in every culture.
Now, a statement from the Drawing Center says, for Kaws, this collection functions as a personal reference library, a way to study the progression of an artist's style, to think abstractly about the marks of a drawing, and to remind himself that there's more than one way of making art. So this is really a reflection of his influences on art that influenced him, and also how his peers influenced him. The statement continues to say, the way I see it encompasses work on paper, including comics, commercial illustrations, as well as pages from graffiti black books, pieces included by artists and graffiti peers Todd James, Futura 2000, Dondi, Serve, and Days, amongst more.
As a young kid, you want to make stuff, and you want friends and peers to see it. And I think graffiti in a city environment is a perfect outlet. You know, I'd go around and photograph, like when I'm shooting stuff in the Heights or the Bronx, and, you know, just make doubles, triples, and send them little packets to people, and they'd send packets back. And it sort of got me thinking about the world, you know, from my parents' house in Jersey City.
Now, the Kaws curated exhibit is going to be on display until January 19th at the Drawing Center in New York City. So any of the homies that are out there want to check out some art, hit your boy up. Let's go get cultured. All right. I think it's time. We got to revisit the theme for today, okay? The theme is real dreams scare you. Have you been doing a self-audit this whole time while I'm going through these stories? I wanted you to really analyze that. Are your dreams scary enough? I know. Dreams mean starting over. Trust me, I know. I started a podcast, just like everyone else. But like Tyler Perry said, I cannot despise these small beginnings.
Never despise small beginnings. That's a little biblical scripture that I remember just when I was struggling, trying to get things going. I had been homeless. I'd been out on the street trying to get things going.
Never despise small beginnings. Never despise small beginnings.
If it is your dream and it is your hope, it is that thing that you wake up with and you go to bed with it and you can't shake it no matter what, that's something that's bigger than you.
It's bigger than you.
It gets hard, you will cry, especially if it's a big dream. If it's something that you think, oh, I can do that, that ain't a dream. If it's something that scares you, that makes you go,
Real dreams scare you. Real dreams scare you. Real dreams scare you. Scare you. Real and friends.
Look, sometimes we gotta do those little internal audits. Are we being active? Are we aligned? Are our dreams big enough? Are we just meeting expectations? If that's what you want to do, cool. Okay. This REL and Friends Army, we're about chasing those big dreams. Okay. Either you're with us or you're not. All right. We're here to get scared. Okay. Let's get scared. Scary dreams.
Hi, John.
All right. It's that time, guys. It's that time where we sign off. And if you hear some of that heavy breathing, it's because I got my son here. He doesn't know how to control himself. Say hi to the people, Malone.
Hi.
He's going to help me do the sign off today. But I hope you guys were scared. I scared everyone today. Is that okay?
No.
Is that okay if I scare people? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Or no.
Well, sometimes, Milan, we have to dream big. You know what I mean? And when you dream big, it gets scary. And that's what I had to talk about today. Okay, that was today's lesson. And you get scared of everything. So that means you're on the right track, right?
Okay.
That's right. And we had some scary stories today, too. That generative AI by Adobe, that's pretty scary. But it's very real and we need to stay on top of it. Also, one of the most scariest days in hip hop, the 95 Source Awards, there may be a documentary coming out to cover all the spookiness. And also Kaws draws skulls. That's kind of creepy, right? Skulls are kind of creepy. But he has a new exhibit out, so I want you to check that out. And we gotta also give a salute, RIP to Ka. It was nice to do a little tribute there for him. And my son's over here messing with the projector. Come here, Milan. So I gotta let you guys know, before we go, I need to have you like and subscribe. You wanna talk about some big, spooky, scary dreams? Why don't you like and subscribe to this scary ass podcast? Actually, you guys scare me. As you can see, I'm stooping down to exploiting my own children for likes and subscriptions. Milan, can you tell everyone to like and subscribe, please?
Like and subscribe for trains.
That's right.
I just saw trains.
I will see you guys next time. Please, look at his face. Peace.